Is it a sign of weakness or is it a sign of confidence, according to you? This
It's
spate of freebies.
It's a sign of weakness.
Hello and a very, very warm welcome to another one of our special election broadcasts. Well, Delhi is shivering. The temperatures are constantly coming down, but guess what? In this biting, polluted cold, one thing is constantly going up, and that is the political thermometer. So, to talk us through today about what is really happening right now in the national capital, well-known journalist Ashutosh, himself formerly associated with the Aam Aadmi Party as well. Always a pleasure speaking to you, Ashu, particularly when it comes to Delhi, given the fact that you can always wear two different hats at multiple times.
Thank you, Vipin.
So let me straight away ask you first, Ashutosh. A lot of typical name calling, mudslinging going on in every election that we've seen between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. This has become par for the course. Anything different that you're picking up in 2025 this time around?
No, I only see the repeat of what happened in 2015, 2020, and 2025 again. And I'm afraid to say this, but BJP has then learned any lesson. BJP's campaign in 2015 was very negative. Again, the same negative campaign in 2020, and again, the same kind of negative campaign is happening over here. And if you look at the development which has happened in the last 3 months, it's Arvind Kejriwal who has seized the initiative. He started from the position of weakness, but now on a daily basis, he's gaining strength. And he's setting the narrative, he's setting the agenda, and the BJP is forced to react to that agenda.
But give us some insight, Ashutosh. Give us some insight. You track the party closely. Here's a party which has spent the last 2 years basically going from courts to courts. The Aam Aadmi Party, one scam after the other. And I was looking at Satyendra Jain the other day, and suddenly he seems to have got his mojo back. What has gone on that a party like Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena ends up being bifurcated into two? A party like Sharad Pawar's NCP ends up being bifurcated into two, when now word is that it may again come together. But Arvind Kejriwal's party, the Aam Aadmi Party, how do you differentiate between the Aam Aadmi Party led by Kejriwal and the bigger, older parties such as the NCP or the Shiv Sena?
See, the two reasons can be cited, that the two theories can be floated. The one theory can be like this, that maybe Amit Shah and Narendra Modi has not tried enough to break Aam Aadmi Party. They didn't have the killer instinct. Because if they could break Shiv Sena, they could break Sharad Pawar. So why they couldn't break Aam Aadmi Party? It's not that Aam Aadmi Party is made of some men of steel or the women of steel. It's not like that. The other theory could be that probably they couldn't get any anchor which could lead and which could galvanize a majority of the MLAs or a part of MLAs to defect and leave Arvind Kejriwal. I think the other part looks much better, because you needed somebody like Shinde, or you needed somebody like Ajit Pawar. But in Aam Aadmi Party, there's hardly anybody. There are people like powerful people like Sanjay Singh, powerful people like Manish Sisodia, but they're too loyal to the party, too loyal to the Arvind Kejriwal, and it is the failing of BJP, the Amit Shah and Narendra Modi both, that they couldn't poach either of them. If they had succeeded in doing that, probably there was a possibility of a majority of or a part of AAP MLAs defecting Arvind Kejriwal. I think these are the two possible reasons. I don't see any other reason that this party is full of idealists and they don't want to leave. No, not like that. This was the party which is a very different party. It's like any other political party. Its MLAs are like any other MLA, whether like the BJP MLA, the Congress MLAs. So that they don't have any loyalty question in that sense. But you need somebody who could lead and who could give confidence to the MLAs who are willing to defect, that ultimately you will not be punished and you will be benefited. So either that.
Do you think it was a mistake? Do you think it was a mistake, Ashu, that the BJP did not put in a chief ministerial candidate? If the BJP had been running such a huge campaign against the Aam Aadmi Party for the last 2 years now, why is it that it was not possible for the BJP to give a chief ministerial candidate against Kejriwal?
I think it is something which is a riddle for me also. Because if you have to defeat Arvind Kejriwal, you needed somebody who's a very urban face, a very aggressive face, a bilingual face. And I've always believed that Smriti Irani could have been an excellent choice as a chief ministerial candidate in Delhi. Within the local BJP, I don't see anybody which is competent enough to challenge the aura of Arvind Kejriwal. Harshvardhan is a very distant number two in that sense. But if they had planted somebody like Smriti Irani, it could have been really good choice. I think that there is some kind of unwillingness on the part of Narendra Modi, or their strategy
So
is
let's
going
look at the
haywire.
reasons. Let's look at the reasons. Could one of the reasons for what you're describing, the unwillingness, has the Aam Aadmi Party somewhere managed to now capture the best of both Sheila Dikshit's trajectory and, for a fleeting moment, Mayawati's trajectory? When Mayawati ended up scoring 14% votes in the 2008 Assembly elections and got 4 seats, the maximum chunk of rural Delhi, the Jhuggi Jhopdis, the slum dwellers, is that where the big battle for 2025 is being fought? And is that where the BJP is not managing to counter the Aam Aadmi Party?
See, Bhupendra, you'll be surprised to know that this time the BJP is trying to get into Jhuggi Jhopdis, because BJP has realized that unless they get the votes there, unless they could create some kind of breach over there, it will be difficult for them to defeat Arvind Kejriwal. So they have been trying, and my information is, at least for the last 6-7 months, they have been trying very strongly. But the issue is not just trying into that issue. Also is that why the BJP has not been able to declare its candidate. Look at Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal, since coming out of the jail for the last 3 months, is constantly on the move. He is moving from one constituency to another constituency, meeting even people in the small numbers and the big numbers, holding rallies and making a statement here and there, hogging the limelight, hogging the headline. Everything he's doing. BJP is only reacting. So if BJP had been serious enough, the BJP would have declared its candidate much before Aam Aadmi Party are at par, are almost a month to the elections. Till now, they have not been able to do that. This is something which is very, very intriguing, because don't forget, Arvind Kejriwal this time is facing a 10 years anti-incumbency, and Arvind Kejriwal in the 3 months in the month of October, when he started the campaign, he was vulnerable. And I have the information, and I know for sure that he was really worried. And that's one reason that Arvind Kejriwal took the command in his hand and started moving and doing surveys, identifying candidate who could win, who could not win, and poach candidate who could be a winner in that sense.
Was it a mistake? Do you think it's a mistake for the BJP? Because most of the chatter that I'm picking up is about how well the Congress is going to do, is what will ultimately determine whether there can really be a change of guard in the national capital or not. Was that strategy fraught with all kinds of dangers?
I think they overplayed that card. Congress started well. I must say this. Congress started doing that yatra, padyatra kind of thing that Rahul Gandhi did, Bharat Jodo Yatra. So Congress started that also. Everybody thought that this time, because of the Rahul Gandhi, the Muslim factor, the Muslim voters will vote for the Congress party and will not go to the Aam Aadmi Party. And the Dalits, because of the same constitution campaign done by Rahul Gandhi and Congress, there will be a drift among the Dalit voters. But the issue is that Dalits, who are almost 17% of the Delhi population, and the Muslims, who are almost 13% of the population, there can be a drift among the Dalit, but among the Muslims, I don't see any drift happening, because Muslims' voting behavior is very, very straight. They will vote for a candidate or a party which is in a position to defeat BJP, despite not liking Aam Aadmi Party. And I can tell you, you know better than me, that their first choice is Congress party. But in Delhi, Congress is a non-entity in that sense. The party which got only 4% of the 5%, 10% has is not in a position to defeat BJP.
Yeah, so down at 4%. Down at 4% now. But down here's the other poser. Here's the other poser, Ashutosh. This is what I've picked up since yesterday. That there is a strong possibility of Mr. Kejriwal himself, from the constituency of New Delhi, actually not managing to do well. Do you foresee that kind of a scenario at all, where maybe the Aam Aadmi Party comes up maybe with 48% to 49%, comes down from a higher 55%, the BJP's vote share goes up from 38% to 42%, but Kejriwal himself, do you think New Delhi constituency is done and dusted for Kejriwal?
I will not say that the done and dusted, but I can only hint at what the BJP is trying. BJP, in a very smart way, trying to put Arvind Kejriwal, trying to confine Arvind Kejriwal in the New Delhi constituency. So either BJP is trying to ensure that come what may, Arvind Kejriwal will not be allowed to win, or Arvind Kejriwal will not be allowed to move beyond New Delhi constituency. And that's why they have put up Parvesh Sharma as a very aggressive candidate. And he is doing all kinds of tricks. Everybody knows what kinds of things he's doing, from the deletion to the addition to the electoral rolls to distributing money, and all kinds of things he's doing. And then Sandeep Dixit is also there. I don't think Sandeep Dixit will cut much vote, but it's a kind of a strategy which the BJP pursued in West Bengal. The Mamata Banerjee won with handsome with more than 200 seats, but she lost her own she lost in her own constituency. Naveen Patnaik in Odisha contested from 2 seats, but the BJP ensured that he lost one constituency and barely he managed to win in another constituency. So I think that is the strategy which the BJP is trying to pursue in New Delhi constituency. But I will still say that Arvind Kejriwal is a much smarter player than Naveen Patnaik, and he realized that BJP is working on this study. That's why in the last few days, if you remember, in the last few days, he is focusing on the New Delhi, and he's targeting Parvesh Sharma and trying to tell to the whole world that the BJP is trying all dirty tricks to defeat him.
Yesterday, Ashutosh, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the State Bank of India sort of sentiment analysis about the reasons why the BJP has done well in the 2024 Lok Sabha election and subsequently. There were a couple of statistics which really stood out for me. One of them was that in states where you give freebies, so to say, or women-oriented schemes, for every single women-oriented scheme, the commensurate increase in the number of absolute votes is 7.5 lakhs per scheme. Now look at Delhi. Every day I'm seeing that there is a new freebie which is being announced from Mr. Kejriwal. When a leader goes to this extent that you are now, today he's announced that he will be giving free money to RWS for managing security guards. So after free metro ride, free bus ride for women, 18,000 for pujaris, earlier money for Waqf board, free electricity, free education, free healthcare. Now this free RWA also. Does it not tell you that maybe this is a leader who's not sure? Is it a sign of weakness or is it a sign of confidence, according to you? This spate of freebies.
It's a sign of weakness. I said earlier that it's a sign of weakness. And Arvind Kejriwal, when he started in the month of October, he was really worried. And this I can tell you from my sources who had told me that he was really worried, and he was probably worried to the extent that the Congress can really damage him. But in the last 3 months, he has covered a lot of ground. A lot of damage control has already been done. And it is a part of that signs of nervousness that he started giving these extra doles. Like, see, he has been giving free electricity, free water, and then he was giving the free bus ride to the women. Now, 2,100 rupees to women, senior citizen above 60, free medical treatment. Then all the granthis and pujaris. Then auto walas, RWAs. If Arvind Kejriwal has been very confident of winning elections, he wouldn't have done all this. He would have done 1 or 2 schemes, and that would have helped him. But he knows that the 10 years anti-incumbency is a very strong anti-incumbency. And let's not forget it. It's not only, this time there will be triple anti-incumbency. One, the Arvind Kejriwal's own anti-incumbency in the last 10 years. Then Aam Aadmi Party is also in MCD. They are also holding MCD. So there is also anti-incumbency at that level. And then thirdly, most of their MLAs had been a three times MLAs. So if you are repeating all of them, so that anti-incumbency is also there. So that is why he has cut almost 30% of sitting MLAs.
So do we then conclude, Ashutosh, that in Delhi, till the time you don't have a third player who's crossing the 10% margin, the 10% vote base, basically you're now in for a bipolarity scenario in Delhi's politics. There will be the BJP and there will be the Aam Aadmi Party. Till the time the Congress does not manage to find a way of crossing the 10% vote scenario, it's not going to change in Delhi.
I'm not buying that argument for some reason. I'm of the opinion that Aam Aadmi Party, see, since 1993, no no other political party except the Aam Aadmi Party has crossed 50% vote share. Even in 93, when the BJP won, their vote share was something around 40 to 43% vote
That's
share.
right.
Sheila Dixit in all three terms never crossed 50% vote share. But Aam Aadmi Party has crossed that 50% vote share. And in fact, they had been very, very consistent. 2015, again, 54% vote share. 2020, again, 54% vote share. And this is exactly, you swap with the Narendra Modi's, when the parliament election happened, the BJP gets almost a similar 54% vote share. So that means that this extra vote which BJP is getting in the parliament election and extra vote which Aam Aadmi Party gets in the assembly election is because of the Narendra Modi and because of the Arvind Kejriwal. So unless BJP is in a position to damage Arvind Kejriwal and tarnish his image, it will be very difficult for them to defeat him. And in this election, BJP has succeeded up to a point to damage Arvind Kejriwal's image. Arvind Kejriwal is no longer seen as a messiah, no longer seen as a revolutionary or the radical. He is seen like any other political party. But for the BJP, unfortunately for the BJP, there is no leader in the BJP which can stand up to Arvind Kejriwal and match up to his popularity or match up to his enigma and aura. Let's not forget this, because when I'm saying this, Arvind Kejriwal gets the 50% vote share, 54% vote share, because in parliament election in 2019, Aam Aadmi Party only 18% vote share. And Aam Aadmi Party, despite the ruling party with 54% votes in assembly election, was reduced to 1/3 vote share. In 2000 and in MCD election in 2017, it lost very badly.
Right.
Despite 67 seats in parliament election, they are consistently losing. They are unable to win a single seat. So that means the Aam Aadmi Party, which gets this huge number of votes, it's only because of Arvind Kejriwal. So if Arvind Kejriwal is targeted and tarnished and damaged, only then the BJP can hope to get more than 40% vote share. Look at BJP's vote share in assembly elections. In 2013, it got 32% vote share. In 2015, again 32% vote share. In 2020, it got 38% vote share.
Right.
And if you look at the assembly election in the MCD election, BJP vote share is hovering something around 36-37% vote share. So minus Narendra Modi, when he is not the candidate, then the BJP has a solid vote bank, but this is not good enough to win elections vis-a-vis Arvind Kejriwal Aam Aadmi Party. So BJP starts with 36% vote share.
But why? But Ashutosh, beyond all these statistics that you're giving us, look at Haryana. Here was a state, or for that matter, Maharashtra. The BJP had to change its chief minister midway. Manolal Khattar had to be brought to Delhi. The election in Haryana was fought under a new chief minister, and there were question marks. Nobody in the BJP itself was willing to buy that Haryana could have been won. What is it about Delhi that the BJP doesn't manage to get its act right when it can win perhaps an even more difficult state like Haryana? Do we call it the Kejriwal factor, or do we say that Delhi is now a state where the third player, which is the Congress party, is just not going up, and therefore in a straight head-to-head contest, the BJP is not managing to deal with this Kejriwal factor? What's the difference between Haryana and Delhi there?
It's a K factor. It's a Kejriwal factor. See, Congress is still fighting election in the traditional way. Arvind Kejriwal is fighting like a gladiator. He has got that hunger in his belly. He, come what may, he doesn't want to lose for two reasons. One, he knows if he loses Delhi, then his politics will be over. Secondly, by nature, he doesn't want to lose. He hates losing elections. So he will do anything to win election. That hunger was not there in Bhupender Hooda in Haryana. That hunger was not there in Sharad Pawar, Uddhav Thackeray and congressmen in Maharashtra. So because after parliament election, they could have realized that assembly election would have been very difficult in Maharashtra and Haryana both, but they took it for granted. They moved late. And that's why they lost the advantage which they had in the parliamentary elections. So when you take election for granted, Arvind Kejriwal from the day one, when he was sent to jail and coming out of the jail, he knew that the BJP will make his life very difficult, will make him very, very difficult to win back election. And that's why from the day one he was moving. So it is this killer instinct, gladiatorial instinct, which is propelling Arvind Kejriwal to be such a giant force in Delhi politics. And it is true also. Look, BJP wanted to start a yatra in Delhi in month of December. Till now, nothing has happened. Nobody knows what happened. Why the candidates are not announced? Nobody knows. What is the blueprint? Nobody knows. And Who will vote for the Virendra Sachdeva? Who will? So when you have a player like it's like a West Bengal phenomenon. Like
Right.
Mamata Banerjee had the fire in her belly, and she moves like a gladiator. She hates to lose. Same thing with Arvind Kejriwal, and that is why Mamata Banerjee had a third term, and Arvind Kejriwal most probably, I'm not predicting anything, but he will have a tough time. But he might come back again, and
Okay.
most probably he will.
Okay. So I hear from you very clearly that it is entirely plausible that you're looking at a Kejriwal 3.0 in Delhi in 2025. All right. Ashutosh, thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking to you. We'll come back to you as we go deeper into the campaign territory.
Thank you.